When I was at work today, I had a patient that first thing she said to me when I wanted to start her IV was, my mother told me to tell you that I have difficult days. So I said, tell your mother that I am the best at starting IVs on difficult days. So she looks at me like didn't believe what I was saying. I put a tourniquet on her and after a couple seconds and tapping her spot, gently tapping the spot, the vein pops out. So she looks at her vein and says, maybe not today. It doesn't look like it's a difficult stick. I asked her, who told you that you have difficult vein in the first place? She says, my mother always told me this when I was a child. I said, when? How old were you? She said, when she was about 4 or 5, she had to go to the doctor for some checkup and they had to start an IV on her. So the mother told her, yeah, you can do this. I'm right behind you. So they started the IV on her. The mother passes out when she saw the blood. She passed out completely like she thought her mother was dead. So this memory of what her mother told her at 4 or 5 years old is what she's still living on. And this lady is in her 70s now. I share this story to tell you that as parents, be aware, mindful of the things you say to your child. Negative things can damage children. So affirmations are ways that you reprogram your conscious mind, and being conscious of the conversations you're having with yourself all the time is a way of empowering yourself. Self-empowerment is the key to all kinds of empowerment in every area of our lives. The story this lady goes on and on. She was saying her mother, boys used to want to come to her house, help her carry her bags and books when she was very young, just because they wanted to get close to her mother. Her mother is a very nice lady, sweet lady, very beautiful. People wanted to just be around her. So she goes on and on and on and on and on about my mother this, my mother that, my mother this, my mother that. So all of a sudden, I'm like, okay, this lady has talked about her mother an awful lot. What about her dad? So the way my test, the work I do, I inject a patient. This is a PET scan that I'm doing on this lady. I inject this patient and there's a 45 minutes wait period for the radiation to circulate in her body before I take pictures of her body. It's called head to skull to meat thighs. That's a PET scan. I told her, while you're waiting, just think of any memories of your dad that you had with your dad, any memories, any stories to share about your dad. So I go away doing other things. After 45 minutes, I get the patient to get the test going. She starts talking about something else. I noticed she was trying to deflect the question I asked her, which is to tell me a story about her dad. I asked her, were you able to remember any story about your dad or did you come up with any memories? She said, no. Then she said, oh, I remember. Yes, there's one. One time my dad took me fishing and I dropped his very prized fishing rod in the water. And he was so pissed. He was so pissed and it messed up our relationship ever since. I was like, how old were you when this happened? She said about 5 or 6. I was like, wow, something happened 5 or 6 years ago with your dad, and your dad pretty much will not talk to you. It tainted your relationship. You guys are not in a good place because of what happened when you were 5 or 6 years old. So that scenario, what happened to her with her dad, messed up her relationship with her dad. They don't have good relationship. Most people today do not have good relationship with their parents, mom or dad. Some people are having issues because of events that has happened in the past. One of the worst things you can do to yourself is to hold on to memories that don't serve you. Hold on to past hurt, past events that affected you in a negative way, because all this anger and hate or resentment that you have against your parents, it doesn't serve you well. I'm sure her parents are all gone now because this patient is in her 70s. But the memories and the events that happened way back when is still controlling her state of being today. It's so sad that she is still operating with all the feelings of things that happened over 70 years ago. Feelings don't lie. You can lie to yourself about this and that. But the interesting thing is the minute this lady starts talking about her mother, she's smiling, she's happy. And once I ask about her father, she switches her whole emotions, her whole body, her whole energy just shifts and she's sad. And you could just tell she's just not in a good place. How do we change this empowering feelings and beliefs and emotions of the past? The best way is to use affirmations. First of all, you have to accept the fact that it happened. Yes, it's happened, but it's not happening right now. These things happen, no doubt, but right now it's happening. These events do not define you. A negative event should not define you, should not define how you think now, should not define the results that you produce now because of something negative. Becoming aware of these thoughts and events that happened, one, a good way to let go or to change the memories of that event that is contributing in our lives is to use affirmations. First, the best way is to say, whatever happened in the past with my mother or with my father, let go now. I let go. I forgive and I let go. Whatever my father did to me is in the past, is not happening now. And mention their name. When you say the name of this person, it registers faster, stronger in your subconscious mind. And you have to speak the words and say, I forgive, I release, I let go, and I am free to live and do whatever I want, free of any consequences of the events that happened in my past. So saying those affirmations, speaking those words, saying these people's name is very powerful, is very strong. It's a good way to overcome emotions that we attach to past event that is not serving us. Okay. Whatever you do, be conscious of the thoughts that is going on inside of you. Be conscious of your mind is thinking, what your mind is thinking. Becoming conscious, being aware is just paying attention. A good way to always become aware of what's going on is start journaling. Journal is a great way. If you write things down, writing things down help you to keep tabs on what your mind is thinking, how your mind is thinking. Another good practice is do your meditation or your time of silence and being quiet. Whatever thoughts that is predominant in your mind at that time, write them down. If you can write them down, take note of those thoughts, whatever you're thinking when you go into the silence, because those thoughts, if they're negative, it's a sign that those are things you need to work on. And thinking those thoughts during the meditation practice is not necessarily a bad thing. It just means you let go, be fluid, let the thoughts play out. They're not happening now. It's a passing event. It's going to play out in your memory. It's going to play out in your thought process. And that's how you let go. Let it play out is basically it's going to pass. Okay. Check out my affirmations on my podcast. Check out my affirmations on my YouTube page. I put out a lot of free stuff. Download, share this information to someone that might need to know something about letting go of the past and not allowing memories of the past, especially negative ones, to control the way we live our life today. And you already know this. They say anybody that can anger you controls you. And anybody that controls you is your master. You want anybody to be your master, to control you, just because whenever you think of them, you are sad, you are mad, you are depressed, you are fearful, you're in an angry place. You can work on yourself. You don't need to work on other people, external circumstances, anybody else but yourself. The only person you have complete 100% control over is this one, yourself. Everybody will carry their own weight. Someone said you cannot do other people's push-ups for them. When you do push-ups, it works on your body. It's for you. It's for your own benefit. So download, share, invite people to listen to this podcast, share and subscribe. Thank you. Have a good rest of your weekend. Enhance your perception.